do day to day, how we eat, the amount of food you serve on your plate, is it enough? Do you find yourself throwing food? Some of these things is what is actually leading to this whole issue. And you may think it's a complex issue, but it's not. It's the day-to-day practices that we tend to assume. So out of the Paris Agreement, it was realized that until we have a very short period to actually reduce our carbon dioxide level to 2 degrees. So why are we calling part to net zero? Because this is a commitment that we're actually asking everybody. Is it possible for you to change your practices? Is it possible for you as an individual, as business, as people who are doing things in your day-to-day life to actually change your practices so that we can reduce this carbon dioxide, we can reduce climate change to the 2-degree percentage.
The thing I would like to ask you is, what am I doing as an individual? What am I involved in as far as this initiative is concerned? Then 2, where I live, my group, my homies, you know, my people that I interact with, what are we doing, you know, as far as climate change is concerned? What are we doing to mitigate this?
Instead of like these people throwing these clothes away, I take them, transform them into something very beautiful, and I actually make money from it. So you can imagine, yeah, pretty much I think I have been conserving the environment all that time, and I had no idea.
For climate change and all that, we generate a lot of information here. We're lucky that Moi University, for instance, has schools of, you know, like I think the first school in Moi was a school of forestry. Then we also have a school of agriculture. So this university is at the heart, or should be at the heart, of you know, advocating for climate change.
A lot of the people in climate, even in climate financing, has been on adaptation, and in Africa more specifically. In urban settings, very urban settings, industrialized spaces, the action is actually the mitigation. Mitigation is the act of reducing the potential emissions of what he's talking about, greenhouse gas emissions. Now, what are people doing? I wouldn't say what are our institutions doing, because there is work at international level, there is work at the macro national level, and then there is work at micro level. Vehicles that are allowed on the road, how old they can be, the levels of emission. There is a way you measure the greenhouse gas emission from a vehicle, either by putting together sensors in certain areas and being able to measure the actual emissions per vehicle. Those are actions that are happening at the macro level, national level.
There is a personal responsibility that we have as human beings. You get me? We cannot mitigate, or rather ask you the way she's telling you to use at least, I don't know, 10 watt or more, but you can use as many as you want, provided that you are a responsible human being. Because other than producing those things, I don't even think you guys get time to read the instructions. It always comes instructions, isn't it? And I'm pretty certain this country, the Climate Act of 2016, I think it is law, and the Kenya National Policy, it has provided ya kwamba ukinunua utajua pia vile vile una dispose, si ndio? So guys, you look as pretty as you want, and in as much as the free world, free is never that free, you must also curb how you're going to protect this environment.